How to join the masters. Humankind is like a vast blanket, which by its unevenness looks like a mountainous landscape. There are a few vertiginous peaks that seem to almost touch the sky. There are uplands where prairies unfold on many levels, and there are valleys sometimes so deep that they become chasms, that some might even call inferno. When one looks at this humankind landscape from above, one sees that there are many more chasms than peaks. I am in between. I can see that the vertiginous peaks are the great masters of humankind. Those souls have lived so many involutions and evolutions that they have reached the level of mastery of matter and of what is subtler. I can see that the human beings living in a chasm are unhappy. They don't necessarily admit it, but their life is difficult and often closer to survival than a real life experience. I can see there are many human beings living at a similar level that I am, or slightly lower or higher. We have comfortable lives. We yearn for happiness and well-being. Some of us believe they've reached the top and are happy with where they are. Others, like myself, continue to aim for somewhere higher, join the masters. For many years, I am perfecting myself. I follow self-growth workshops. I read as many New Age books that I can. I try to open my Kundalini. I want to be a healer. I want to save the world. I meditate. I do everything I can to stay away from the things that confine people in their chasms. Although I jump in the air with a trampoline, I cannot climb higher. For a moment, I resign myself and believe that it is my life destiny to stay where I am. I am a part of the privileged. I am not in a dark chasm. I don't have to fight for my food, my drinking water, or the roof above my head. But like many people, I dream to go higher. Therefore, I start to create tools so the people living in chasms would feel better. I invest a lot of energy. Maybe I even go to exhaustion. But the more I get familiar with the chasm reality, the more difficult it becomes to go back to my plateau. I experience feelings of injustice, anger, and frustrations. After a decade, I noticed that not only I haven't succeeded to get people out of their chasm, some might have climbed a few steps, but surely I have climbed down a few steps myself. Worried to see me going down, a friend who is at the same level as I was comes to me. He takes my hands and his and looks at me with love. His gaze reaches deep in my inner self. He knows who I am, and even though I have climbed down a few steps, he doesn't believe I have lost any worth. Eventually, I understand that I was working to fill an everlasting emptiness, while the solution was to enlighten what was already whole and perfect. This realization brings me a meter higher than I had ever been. As my awareness grows, like a blanket on which we pull, I carry with me the rest of humankind. The few centimeters gained by some people relieve them from their chasm. I understand that the work is happening inward. If I don't apply the tools and the learning, nothing changes. If I don't learn to love, nothing changes. If I try to skip steps to join the masters, I will not go higher. As I'm not separated from the blanket, I would only really know myself when I recognized everyone.